So I was really talking about the environment for money transfers in Europe, which is quite mixed at the moment, really. We've got many of the same challenges we've had from the last years. We have about 2,000 money transfer operators. We have an environment where remittance prices are still stubbornly high. We've got de-risking. That seems to be no closer to being solved. We have the regulators, new regulations, particularly something called the Payment Services Directive 2, which is really supposed to help open the market up to greater competition and help the money transfer companies to be able to address the problem of de-risking. It's early days yet, and I think it's going to be a challenge to see that that's really going to make a difference. And then we have some consolidation in the marketplace, partially because of de-risking, partially because of the regulatory challenges, and also just because the economics are difficult for money transfer operators. We're seeing a number leaving the market or being taken over or merging with others. And one thing we're not seeing much of is really the use of new technology. We think that will come, but the rate of progress is much slower than we would have anticipated. So I would say it's quite challenging times at the moment for money transfer companies, but they're a determined group, and hopefully they're going to overcome many of these challenges and make some ongoing successful businesses. One of the main things that the rest of the world can take from Europe is actually the approach to regulation. The European Union at the moment covers 28 countries, and actually the regulatory environment is the same through those 28 plus another 3 countries, which means that if you're a money transfer business, you're playing by the same rules in all of those countries. Indeed, it's better than that. You only need to become licensed in one, and you can passport or move that license to all the other markets, which makes it much easier and cheaper for money transfer companies. And for me, there are other parts of the world, whether it's in Asia, Africa, and most particularly the United States, where at the moment you need 50 licenses to be able to operate. That could really benefit from that type of united regulatory approach. I think in terms of what Europe can learn from the rest of the world, probably a lot of that is actually around how to attract and create and promote the use of new technologies. Europe seems to be very traditional and traditionally based in using agent-based, cash-based services. And you look at other parts of the world, particularly in Asia and Europe, which are basically newer markets where technology has made a big difference to people's lives in an everyday manner, not just for transferring money. And I think it's really helped the remittances market. Whereas in Europe, we're still stuck with very slow and inefficient money transfer services for remittances, not for everyday payments, but for remittances. So I think those are 2 areas where we could really see a benefit from what's happening here in Europe, but also where Europe can learn from the rest of the world. The future of remittances, I don't see the regulators are going to win, and I don't see the money transfer companies going to win on their own. It's going to have to be a joint effort, and I think what needs to get much better is the dialogue and interaction between the regulators and the money transfer companies, but also the banks. The banks are such a big stakeholder in the remittances space, and at the moment they're a big block. So I think the regulators have to listen to the challenges of the money transfer firms and actually do something about it, rather than saying it's very difficult and doing yet another study to understand the problem. They actually have to tackle the banks head on if the banks won't come willingly to this party, and make sure that the banks provide services to companies that are perfectly legal, operating in a manner that's appropriate for the market, and providing a service at the end of the day to the customer who needs to send their money from point A to point B.